let's just warm up with a little bit of simple interest calculations, because we ended off last week with some simple interest. And I just want to make sure that we can all do this comfortably before we ramp it up a bit and do some stuff on hire purchase and also solving for a few different things. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute to do the first question. I'll help out by writing the simple interest formula over here. P1 plus I times N. Remember, where P is the principal amount, the amount that you put away, I is the interest rate as a decimal, and N is the number of years that you're putting your money away or that you have to that you have on a loan. Because remember, interest works on loans and savings. Okay, so in about a minute, let's give it a minute for you to do this question. Hold your answers, don't pop it in the chat yet. And we'll check in about a minute. Yes, Claire, P is the original or the principal amount. Right, I think we've had enough time. Pop your answer in the chat. Let's see what you got. 6750, Shiraz says, first as always. Okay, well done, everybody. I think you are all on the money. Well done. Yes, we do it this way. We substitute in 5,000 for the principal, 7%. The number of years is 5, and then our final answer is 6750. Wonderful. Okay, one more just to make sure we got it all going. I think we can do this one. Yeah. Okay, I'll stick to the minute timeline for this one. Okay. In a minute, be ready with your answers. Okay, our time is up. Let's see. Pop your answer in the chat. How much does he owe after 3 years? And then what is his interest amount? Double check, Shiraz. That number seems quite big. Okay, good stuff. Let's have some more answers. There we go. Yes, 3048. Okay, no problem. Phew. If you take out a loan and after 3 years you owe 11,000, you're in trouble. Okay, And then what is our interest amount? We're going to take the amount that we have at the end, which is the 3048, and we subtract the 2400, and that's 648. Okay, excellent. Excellent. Looks like we are all ready for something a little bit more challenging. So, okay, so as I was saying, something a little bit more challenging. And sometimes we don't just calculate the final amount when we do simple interest and compound interest. Sometimes we need to calculate the number of years. If we know how much we have at the end, but we want to know how long are we going to invest our money for. And sometimes we want to know if there's a certain amount that we want at the end of a time period, what interest rate should we invest in, invest with. Okay, so let's have a look at this first question. How long will it take for an investment of 40,000 Rand to increase by 5,000 if the interest rate is 4.5% per annum simple? So we're going to, I think the easiest one to use here, because what we have is the interest amount. So we have simple interest. And remember, we do have the formula that we used for our other questions just now, but we can also just calculate the simple interest. And that's if we take the principal amount and we times it by the interest times the number of years. So let's use that one because it's a little bit simpler to work this out. So let's say our simple interest is the principal times the interest rate times the number of years. The number of years, in this case, we don't know. That is the thing we're going to calculate. We know what the simple interest amount is. That's 5,000. Our principal amount, that is 40. So we basically just substitute in everything we already have, all the values we have. And then 4.5, we have to just convert that to a decimal times by n. Okay. Yeah, but except Bonclair, this time we don't know how many years we're going to put the money away for. We want to figure that out. We know that after a certain number of years, we're going to get 5,000 Rand simple interest, but we want to know how many years that is going to be. Okay, so let's simplify this a little bit. And then we have 40,000 times 4.5 over 100. So let's simplify that. And we get 1,800 in. Okay, does anyone want to tell me what we're going to do now to solve for n? Put your hand up if you know.
Divide both sides by 1,800.
Whose little voice is that? Well, can you put your hand up if you want to talk? Who was that? Mulanga, I think, was that you? Okay, Chinamiram, you can also answer.
I wanted to say the same thing.
Okay, we're going to divide by both sides by 1,800. Excellent. Okay, and then what do we get? 5,000 divided by 1,800. Yes, so that's right. 3.2. Yenzi says it's 3.2. I think I agree with her. No, I get 2.78. That's right. 2.78 years. Okay, work it out carefully, guys. You divide the 5,000 by 1,800, and then you get 2.78. So we round to two decimal places still. And we don't drop decimal places or anything like that. Okay, good. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if this makes sense and you're happy with it. If you are giving a thumbs down, remember to ask a question so that we can help you. Leah says thumbs up in her first lesson. Right, excellent. You can use the other formula. It's just a little bit harder, but you can. You must read the question carefully, Tandalwetu. It said an investment of 40,000 Rand increases by 5,000. So the simple interest is 5,000. Okay, right. So that's a question if we need to solve for N. Let's see if we can solve for the interest rate. Okay, so Thabo invested 13,450 for 3.5 years. He earned this amount of money. He earned that much simple interest. So what was his interest rate? Okay, so we start again. The simple interest amount is given. So let's use the P times I times N formula again. And remember, you can always, to help you, just write down what the variables that you have. So we have the simple interest, that is 8591,19. We have N, that's 3,5. And we don't have I, that's what we're going to solve for. And then we have the principal amount. The principal amount is 13,450. So if you are struggling to maybe put everything together and know what's what, write it all down. So take it from the words from the question and write it all down. Okay, now we're going to sub in. So 8591,19. Our principal is 13,450. We don't know what I is, but we know what N is. Okay, and that gives us that. All right. So I want you to solve for it. And if you think you've got an answer, put your hand up and tell us what you got. Let's get some answers from people. Raise your hand if you get an answer that you think is right. And even if you think it's maybe not right, doesn't matter. Let's have a look. Remember, our next step is now to simplify. So we're going to multiply. We would need to, yeah. So Sandra, you have to read carefully. Here it says Thabo invested 13,450. So he invested that. That's what he starts off with. So that's P. And then he earned 18,591,19 simple interest. So that's the simple interest amount. So you must extract the information, read it from the question. Okay. Let's have a hand. Can someone tell us how to work it out? Chinamiram, I want to give someone else a chance just because you had the previous one. So I want someone else to get this one. Okay. Maybe Isa can help us. Otapelo.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi there.
Can I answer?
Yes, go for it.
Okay. So what I did, sorry, what are we working out?
For the interest rate.
Okay. So what I did, I said 8591,19 is equal to 47075I. And then I divided by the coefficient of I, which was 47075. 0.075 on both sides.
Wonderful.
Then I got an answer of 0.1825. But then to work out interest rates, I took that 0.1825 and I multiplied it by 100 so that I got 18.25%.
Okay, sounds great. Sounds on the money. Well done. Okay, so I get I is 0.1825 with lots of decimal places. So yes, then we're going to times this by 100 to get a percentage. Aliyah, you have your hand up. You can unmute.
How do you get 4705?
So the 47075 comes from 13450 in the previous step times 3.5. So you do that on your calculator. Just give me a thumbs up if you understand that. Let's hear, Vitali also has their hand up.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Vitali.
Ma'am, can I ask, since that 0.1825 give us a lot of decimals, how do we know what decimals to end at?
Yeah, so you basically just leave it on your calculator as it is, and just always write about, like I wrote down 4 places, but you leave it on your calculator, the whole amount, the whole number, and then you times that by 100, and then you get 18.25. So whatever that then is, you round to 2 decimal places.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Tandulwetu, we multiply by 100 to get percent. Okay, Orokunisa, you have your hand up. You can unmute and ask.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
I wanted to ask where you got the 3.5 because it say I know it's years, but it says 3.5 years. I was just wondering how you got it to become 3.5.
So 3.5 and 3.5 is the same thing, because 3.5 is just written as a fraction, and then 3.5 is as a decimal fraction.
Oh, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Right, 2 practice questions here for you to do. I'm going to leave you alone for about 3 minutes and check back in, see what answers you get. Okay. And don't worry, my Leratu, I also have load shedding, so here we are. We do our best. But we're doing these questions, so give it a go, and we're going to check back in about 3 minutes. Tandulwetu, I think you must just check your calculator work there. Make sure you're using this button on your calculator. It is normally the one that's, if you go shift and the fraction button, then you should be able to get this one. And that's how you put in a mixed fraction on your calculator. Sometimes people go 3. So say you want to put in 3.5, and then you go like this. So 3 and the fraction button and a half, and the calculator doesn't understand that as 3.5. You have to, if you want to put in 3.5, you must use this button. Okay, Dade, you have your hand up. While everyone's working, you can quickly ask your question.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi. What's your question?
Ma'am, just a question. When I'm substituting the 12.8, do I divide it by hundreds just to change it into a decimal? Or do I just put it
Yes.
as a percentage?
No, divided by 100 to change it
Thank
to
you,
a
ma'am.
decimal. Okay. Right, let's have some hands up to answer these questions. Dade, do you still have another question or do you want to answer? I'm not sure if you still have your hand up from the previous question. Gone, okay.
No, sorry, I forgot to put it down.
Oh, no problem. Okay, if you're ready to answer, put your hand up. Let's see how to do question 1. Are we still working? Still working it out? If you've got an answer for question 1, put your hand up or pop it in the chat. That's fine too. Great. Vitali, do you want to give us an answer?
Yes, ma'am. For the first question, I got 8.5 years.
8.5 years.
Yes.
Okay. All right. How did you do that, Vitali?
I got that by getting the simple interest. And then I wrote equals to 10,000 times 12.8, which is the interest rate.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
after that, I simplified, and then I got the 10,880 over the 12,000, 8,000, and then I got the 0.85, and then I times it by 100.
0.85. Okay. So which formula did you use?
I used the SR equals to P times I and N.
Okay. Let's write that down. SI equals P times I times N. And Watobians, we got to be very careful because I see quite a few of you got answer here that is maybe not correct, okay? So I'm just going to put you back on mute. What we must read carefully here is that the final amount invested at 12.8% per annum for N years was 18.8. So that was the final amount. So which variable is that actually? That is A. For us to calculate the simple interest, That is the difference between what you invest and what your accumulated, your final amount is. That is the simple interest amount. So we can't use the 10,880 as the simple interest. What amount is actually the simple interest? Let's see who's been following. 880. Well done, Kutlanu. It's 880. Yes. That is the simple interest amount. Okay. Not a problem if you didn't get it wrong, if you didn't get it right this time. That's why we do this, okay? So that we can learn from our mistakes. So that's 880. What we put away at the start is 10,000. Our interest rate is 12,8 per annum for n years. So that's 12,8 divided by 100 times by n. Give a thumbs up if you understand how we got there. I'm just going to draw a little line here so that we don't get confused. Give a thumbs up if you understand, and if you're not, then ask a question. Okay, good stuff. Miriam, you've got a question. Let's hear.
Ma'am, about the simple interest, you get it from subtracting the final amount and the principal amount.
That's exactly how you get it. So simple interest is final amount minus principal amount. Asanda, I hope you are following my explanation because I am explaining how we are getting that. 880 minus 10,000.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and why is it 0,128 Tandul Wetu? Because that is our interest rate as a decimal. Okay. Okay, so 880 sorry guys, I actually just have to go and switch on the other lamp. Okay, so in the meantime, let's times the 10,000 by 0,18, 128. That gives me 1280. And then we divide like we did before on both sides. And then n is, and we actually get a decimal number, 0,6875. Okay, so that means it's not a full year, it's just part of a year. So we can go further and try and convert that to months, but we don't have to. The question doesn't ask for it, it just says n, calculate n, and that's what we've done. Okay, let's do this quick. Calculating the interest rate for this one. So read this carefully now, guys. 12,000 amounted 14,000 after 5 years, simple interest. So let's all start off on the right note. How much is the actual simple interest? Pop it in the chat if you know. Chinamaram, you have your hand up. Is it still from before, or do you have another question?
It's from before.
Okay. Okay, so simple interest amount is the final amount minus the principal. What you had at the start, what's the difference between what you had at the start and what you now have after interest? So that's 14,000 minus 12,000, so that gives me 2,000. Okay, now we can go. Okay, and I'm not going to help anymore. You can take it from here. When you have your answer, pop it in the chat, and also feel free to raise your hand and give the answer. Long Hope says 3,33. So our simple interest is 2,000. Our principal amount is 12,000. And then our interest rate is what we are solving for. And the number of years, that's 5. Let's see some more answers in the chat, or raise your hand if you've got it and you want to share how you got it. Buchle also says 3,33. Hi, Dade. Do you want to answer? Oh, gone. Did you not mean to put your hand up? 60,000. Okay, and now we are going to divide by 60,000 on both sides. And we get I. Okay, so when we do that, we get 0,033, lots of decimal places that we times by 100. And when we times that number by 100, we get a really small interest rate, 3,33%. Okay, well done. Quite a few of you got that. So that's great, guys. So you've got to be able to do that as well. Not just work out the P and the A, but also work out the N and the I. Okay, so I hope everyone's clear now on how we get the simple interest. Aliyah, it's better when you say I didn't understand, please complete the sentence. You didn't understand what? Okay, so just give a bit more detail, then it's easier for me to help you. How do I know that the amount given to me is SI, not I, and I have to subtract P? You have to read the question very carefully, Tandil Wetu. So if it says the simple interest is the simple interest amount, like where did we have that? Yeah, in this question, it said he earned 8,591 Rand simple interest. That's SI. You can always calculate SI if you have A and P, because you can subtract the two. Okay. 3.33 is better because it's 2 decimal places. Okay, we have one more little thing we have to do, which is the hire purchase agreement. Let's see. Okay, so a hire purchase is something you do when you are buying something quite expensive, like a fridge or a stove or a big TV or something of that. Sorry, Tandalweta, I'm just going to go back to this one. It said an investment of 12,000 amounted to 14,000. So if you read it carefully, in an investment of 12,000, so that's what you put away, that's P, amounted to 14,000. So that's A. If you have A and P, you can calculate simple interest like we did there. Right, let's move on to hire purchase. So for hire purchase, basically what we do is we go to the shop. This item costs quite a lot of money. So we pay a deposit on the item and then we get it and we pay the rest of the money off over a certain number of months. So you always make a monthly repayment when you are doing a hire purchase contract with a store. And it's only stores that really do it, especially on things that are quite expensive. Okay, so let's have a look at this first question. Read the question, and then when you are done, put your reading emoji in the chat. You guys know which one that is already, newbies. It looks like that. That's just so I know you're done reading. Very fast readers over here. Okay, seems like you all got it. So Sipho buys a fridge costing 4,500 Rand. He pays a 10% deposit and then he makes monthly repayments for 2,000 Rand for 2 years, monthly repayments for 2 years to pay for the fridge. The shopkeeper charges him 15% interest per annum. And this is simple interest, by the way. Okay. Now, calculate the cost of the fridge after the deposit has been paid. But let's start off then and first calculate how much is the deposit. Pop it in the chat if you know. How much is the deposit? Kelly says 450. Maybe Kelly, do you want to tell me how you calculated the deposit? If you can just unmute and tell us how you did it.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi there.
So I took the amount that the fridge costed and I times it by 10% and got 450.
Wonderful, thank you. And then to get the cost of the fridge, what did you do? Anyone else? I thought there was another hand, maybe. Okay, so to get the cost of the fridge, yes, Shiraz, you say we minus, that's right. Minus 450, that gives us 4050, because this is actually an amount you pay on, onto the price of the fridge, so it comes off the amount that you still owe. Now, calculate the simple interest charged. So again, it's just asking for simple interest. So we can use SI as P times I times N. And because we are calculating simple interest, we're going to use this as our principal amount, the 4050. That is what is left after we've paid the deposit. So that's our principal amount, 4050. Our interest rate is 15%, and N is the number of years that we are going to get interest. Pop your answer in the chat. Sorry, and we do actually have a value for N. I'm still stuck on the previous question. That's 2. How much interest are we going to pay? I think that is right. 1215. Okay, so that's how much interest is being charged. Now, how much will he pay every month? So to work out the monthly repayment, you have to say, here's my 4050, and I add the interest to it, which is 1215. That gives us 5265. And how do we calculate our monthly repayment? Does anyone want to put that in the chat? What is our monthly repayment going to be? Every month we have this to give the store some money. So how much do we have to give them? Yes, Isa.
Hi, ma'am.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe we say 5265 and we divide it by 24 months because they're 24 months in 2 years.
Yes, that's right. Perfect. 5265 divided by 24, and that gives us 219,38. Okay, and that's it. That's how you do a hire purchase, guys. So you take off the cost of the deposit. That gives you what you still owe. You add the interest amount to it, and then you divide it by the number of months to see how much you have to pay every month. Okay, well done. Okay, someone asked a question. Yes, we are going to do our quiz just now. Okay, now I think I got all the questions so far. Right, okay, we're going to leave it there. It is quiz time. We've gone a little bit over time. There, Mr. Eric has popped the quiz link into the chat. So you can go off and do your quiz on Tuesday. We're going to do compound interest. But thank you all so much. And thanks to those who answered and who participated, all of you. It was wonderful seeing you again this evening. And I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye. Oh, there's also a poll, guys, by the way. I can do the poll.
Ma'am, where did you say the quiz was?
Mr. Eric has launched it. No, I've launched the poll. So just do the poll, please. And then it's in the chat. Oh, no, he sent it to me. He didn't put it in the chat. Here we go, guys. Here's the quiz. There we go. Bye, guys.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye. They last forever, Tsiamo. Hours and hours of quizzes. No, I think this one's only 20 minutes. You log in with your username and password, because if you did, then it's going to work. Then I'll see your name. Okay. It's available forever and ever and ever, Tiamo. No, but seriously, it is there for the time being. We don't take it down, so you can go back and redo quizzes and yeah.